Imagine the Earth billions of years ago. Volcanoes erupt, the oceans churn, life is just beginning. Simple organisms appear. They are driven by instinct. Their goal is survival. These organisms are unaware of their surroundings. They simply react. These early life forms possess a basic blueprint for life. This blueprint is DNA. It holds the instructions for building and maintaining life. Over countless generations, DNA changes. This is evolution. It is through evolution that life slowly grows more complex. Organisms develop new ways to sense their environment. They find new ways to move and find food. The need for survival drives these changes. This is natural selection. Organisms that are better adapted to their environment are more likely to survive. They pass on their advantageous traits to their offspring. This process of adaptation and selection continues for millennia. Gradually, life transforms. The stage is set for a profound development, the emergence of consciousness. The journey from simple organism to conscious being is about to begin. Within the depths of these primordial organisms, a change is occurring. A new level of complexity arises. This is the beginning of consciousness. It is a spark in the darkness. Consciousness, at its core, is awareness. It is the ability to perceive oneself and the world. This awareness is initially basic. It is simply an awareness of light and darkness, of food and danger, but it is a crucial step. It allows organisms to make more complex choices. This primitive awareness offers a survival advantage. Organisms that are aware of their surroundings can better avoid threats. They can also seek out food and mates more effectively. Thus, consciousness begins to shape the course of evolution. This nascent consciousness is intrinsically linked to the development of the brain. The brain, even in its earliest form, is the control center for this newfound awareness. It processes sensory information and directs behavior. The spark of consciousness and the evolution of the brain are inextricably intertwined. Picture a world teeming with single-celled organisms. Each one is a tiny world unto itself, responding to its environment in basic ways. Now imagine a shift, a subtle change in the fabric of life. Some of these organisms develop a rudimentary form of awareness. This is not consciousness as we know it, not with thoughts and feelings. It's more fundamental, a faint echo of what's to come. These early organisms, driven by the relentless engine of survival, begin to exhibit behaviors that hint at an internal world. They move towards light or away from danger, not randomly, but with a seeming purpose. This suggests a basic ability to sense and react to the environment in a more sophisticated way. These organisms are not merely reacting to stimuli, they are beginning to process information and make choices based on that information. The emergence of these early sensory systems marks a turning point. The ability to detect light, chemicals, or vibrations allows organisms to navigate their world more effectively. They can find food more easily and avoid predators more successfully. This in turn fuels their survival and allows them to pass on these advantageous traits to their offspring. The spark of consciousness, however faint, begins to burn brighter with each passing generation. These early forms of awareness arose from interactions within groups of cells. Collections of cells began to specialize, some focusing on movement, others on sensing the environment. This specialization paved the way for the development of rudimentary nervous systems. These simple networks of nerve cells allowed organisms to process information and respond to their surroundings with greater complexity. The building blocks of the brain were being laid. The development of senses wasn't merely about survival, it was about experiencing the world. Imagine the first organism to truly perceive light, to distinguish between day and night. This marked a profound shift in the way life interacted with its surroundings. The world was no longer a blurry, undifferentiated mass, but a tapestry of light and shadow. As senses evolved, so too did the range of experiences available to these early organisms. They could now detect the presence of food sources through chemical signals, giving them an advantage in the constant search for sustenance. The ability to sense vibrations alerted them to approaching predators or potential mates, enriching their perception of the world around them. Each new sense added another layer to their experience, shaping their behavior and driving the evolution of their nervous systems. This interplay between sensing and responding drove the development of increasingly complex nervous systems. Organisms with more refined senses were better equipped to survive and reproduce. They could react more quickly to changes in their environment, making faster and more informed decisions. This, in turn, led to the evolution of more sophisticated brains, capable of processing larger amounts of sensory information. The significance of sensing extends beyond mere survival. It lies at the heart of consciousness itself. The ability to perceive the world, to experience it in all its richness and complexity, is a defining characteristic of conscious beings. From these humble beginnings, the seeds of awareness were sown, setting the stage for the evolution of the human mind and our own remarkable capacity for experience. The relentless pressure of survival acted as a crucible for the development of consciousness. Organisms that could better understand and respond to their environment were more likely to thrive. This constant struggle for existence favored those with even the slightest cognitive edge. Every advance in sensory perception, every nuance in information processing increased the odds of survival. Consider the challenges faced by these early organisms. They needed to find food in a world teeming with competitors. They had to avoid becoming prey themselves, and they needed to find mates to ensure the continuation of their lineage. Each of these tasks required a degree of awareness, a nascent understanding of the world and its dangers. Those organisms that possessed a more sophisticated ability to sense and respond to their surroundings were more likely to succeed in this struggle. They could better detect the subtle cues that signaled the presence of food or the approach of a predator. This allowed them to make more informed decisions, increasing their chances of survival and reproduction. Over countless generations, this selective pressure favored the evolution of increasingly complex nervous systems. This drive to survive, this constant need to adapt and overcome challenges, propelled the development of consciousness from its rudimentary beginnings to the complex awareness we experience today. The brain, molded by the forces of natural selection, became the organ of survival, the seat of consciousness, and the wellspring of all that makes us human. In the primordial oceans, the first glimmers of a nervous system emerged. These early organisms, lacking a centralized brain, relied on simple networks of nerve cells called nerve nets. These nets, spread throughout the body, allowed for basic sensory processing and motor responses. A stimulus at one point could trigger a wave of excitation across the net, resulting in a generalized response. As life diversified, so too did its nervous systems. Organisms became more complex, developing specialized cells and tissues. This specialization extended to their nervous systems. Nerve cells clustered together, forming rudimentary ganglia, clusters of neurons that served as primitive control centers. These ganglia allowed for more sophisticated information processing and more coordinated movements. The development of bilateral symmetry marked a significant step in the evolution of the brain. Organisms with bilateral symmetry, like insects and vertebrates, possess a distinct head and tail, and their bodies are organized along a central axis. This body plan favored the concentration of sensory organs and nerve cells at the head end, leading to the development of a distinct head region. This cephalization, as it is called, proved advantageous. Having a centralized collection of nerve cells in the head allowed for more efficient processing of sensory information. It also facilitated quicker responses to stimuli, as signals no longer needed to travel long distances across the body. This paved the way for the evolution of true brains. With the emergence of vertebrates, the brain underwent a dramatic transformation. Vertebrate brains are significantly larger and more complex than those of their invertebrate ancestors. They are characterized by distinct regions, each specialized for specific functions. This compartmentalization allows for more sophisticated information processing and more nuanced behaviors. The evolution of the vertebrate brain was driven by a number of factors. One key factor was the transition to a predatory lifestyle. Predators rely on keen senses and rapid reflexes to catch their prey. This, in turn, requires a brain capable of processing sensory information quickly and efficiently. Another important factor was the development of complex social behaviors. Many vertebrates live in groups, which requires sophisticated communication and social cognition. The ability to recognize individuals, interpret social cues, and navigate complex social hierarchies depends on a highly developed brain. As vertebrates evolved, their brains continued to increase in size and complexity. The cerebral cortex, the outermost layer of the brain responsible for higher-level cognitive functions, expanded significantly in mammals. This expansion allowed for greater learning, memory, and problem-solving abilities. The evolution of the brain was a journey of increasing sophistication, driven by the demands of survival and the ever-changing environment. Among the mammals, primates stand out for their exceptional brain power. Primate brains are relatively large for their body size, and they exhibit a number of specializations that set them apart from other mammals. These specializations are thought to underlie primates' unique cognitive abilities, including their advanced social intelligence, tool use, and problem-solving skills. One key feature of primate brains is the expansion of the neocortex, the part of the brain involved in higher-level cognitive functions. The neocortex is responsible for sensory perception, motor control, language, and conscious thought. The expansion of the neocortex in primates is thought to be linked to their complex social lives. Primates live in large, intricate social groups which require sophisticated communication and social cognition. Another notable feature of primate brains is the presence of mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are a special class of neurons that fire both when an individual performs an action and when they observe another individual performing the same action. Mirror neurons are thought to be involved in imitation, empathy, and language learning. Primates also possess highly developed visual systems. Their eyes are positioned at the front of their heads, providing them with binocular vision and excellent depth perception. This visual acuity is crucial for navigating their arboreal environment and for social interactions, allowing them to read facial expressions and body language. These adaptations, combined with their large brains and complex social structures, have made primates remarkably successful and have paved the way for the emergence of human intelligence. The human brain, the culmination of millions of years of evolution, stands as a testament to the boundless creativity of nature. This organ, weighing in at a mere 3 pounds, houses an estimated 86 billion neurons, each capable of forming thousands of connections with its neighbors. This intricate network of neurons, interconnected by trillions of synapses, forms the biological substrate of our thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Imagine the brain as a vast, bustling city with neurons as its inhabitants. Each neuron, a specialized cell, acts like a tiny electrical generator, sending and receiving signals in the form of electrochemical impulses. These impulses, traveling at speeds of up to 268 miles per hour, carry information throughout the brain, creating a symphony of electrical activity that underpins our every thought and action. These neuronal networks are not static. They are constantly changing, rewiring themselves in response to experience. Every new piece of information we encounter, every skill we learn, every emotion we feel, leaves its mark on the brain, strengthening existing connections and forging new ones. This remarkable plasticity allows the brain to adapt and evolve throughout our lives, shaping our perceptions, our abilities, and ultimately who we are. Within this intricate web of neurons, information flows through a complex interplay of electrical and chemical signals. When a neuron receives enough stimulation from its neighbors, it fires an electrical impulse, known as an action potential, down its axon, a long, slender fiber that extends from the neuron's cell body. This electrical signal then triggers the release of chemical messengers, called neurotransmitters, at the synapse, the junction between two neurons. The human brain is not a homogeneous mass of neurons. It is organized into distinct regions, each specialized for specific functions. This division of labor allows the brain to process information efficiently and to carry out complex tasks with remarkable speed and precision. At the base of the brain lies the brainstem, an ancient structure responsible for regulating basic life functions such as breathing, heart rate, and sleep-wake cycles. Above the brainstem sits the cerebellum, a structure involved in motor control, balance, and coordination. The cerebellum ensures that our movements are smooth and fluid, allowing us to navigate our environment with grace and precision. The limbic system, a collection of structures nestled deep within the brain, plays a crucial role in emotion, motivation, and memory. The amygdala, a small, almond-shaped structure, processes fear and other emotional responses, while the hippocampus, shaped like a seahorse, is essential for forming new memories. The hypothalamus, a tiny but powerful structure, regulates hunger, thirst, and other basic drives. Encasing these ancient structures is the cerebral cortex, the wrinkled outer layer of the brain that distinguishes us from our primate cousins. The cerebral cortex is divided into 4 lobes, each specialized for different functions. The frontal lobes, located at the front of the brain, are responsible for planning, decision-making, and other higher-order cognitive functions. The parietal lobes, located behind the frontal lobes, process sensory information from the body, including touch, temperature, and pain. While each brain region has its own specialized role, it is the interconnectedness of these regions that gives rise to the symphony of human consciousness. Consciousness, that elusive quality of awareness, emerges from the complex interplay of billions of neurons firing in concert, creating a unified sense of self and a coherent experience of the world around us. The frontal lobes, in particular, are thought to play a crucial role in consciousness. The prefrontal cortex, the most anterior part of the frontal lobes, is involved in planning, complex behavior, decision-making, and working memory. This region allows us to reflect on our own thoughts and feelings, to imagine future possibilities, and to make choices that shape our lives. But consciousness is not confined to a single location in the brain. It arises from the dynamic interplay of activity across multiple brain regions. Sensory information from the outside world floods into the brain, where it is processed and integrated with our internal thoughts, emotions, and memories. This constant stream of information creates a rich tapestry of experience that forms the fabric of our conscious awareness. Despite decades of research, the nature of consciousness remains one of the most profound mysteries in science. How does the brain, a physical organ composed of cells and chemicals, give rise to the subjective experience of awareness? How do billions of neurons firing in concert create the feeling of being a single unified self? The answers to these questions remain elusive, but scientists are making progress in unraveling the neural correlates of consciousness, the patterns of brain activity that correspond to specific conscious experiences. The human brain is not merely an organ of perception and reaction, it is a wellspring of creativity, a crucible of innovation. Throughout history, the power of thought has driven humanity's greatest achievements, pushing the boundaries of knowledge, transforming societies, and shaping the world we live in today. Consider the ancient Greeks, who laid the foundations of Western philosophy, mathematics, and science. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle used the power of reason and logic to explore the nature of reality, the meaning of knowledge, and the principles of ethics. Their ideas, passed down through generations, continue to influence our understanding of the world and our place in it. The Renaissance, a period of remarkable intellectual and artistic flourishing, witnessed an explosion of creativity fueled by the power of the human mind. Leonardo da Vinci, a polymath of unparalleled genius, embodied the spirit of the Renaissance, excelling in painting, sculpture, architecture, engineering, and anatomy. His notebooks, filled with sketches, inventions, and observations, stand as a testament to the boundless potential of the human imagination. The scientific revolution, which began in the 16th century, marked a profound shift in human thought. Scientists like Nicolaus Copernicus, Galileo Galilei, and Isaac Newton challenged established dogma and developed new theories based on observation, experimentation, and mathematical reasoning. Their work, driven by a thirst for knowledge and a willingness to question the status quo, laid the groundwork for modern science. The power of thought extends beyond the realm of ideas. It has the ability to shape our reality, to transform the world around us. Every invention, every technological advancement, every work of art began as a thought, a spark of imagination in the mind of a human being. Consider the invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg in the 15th century. This revolutionary technology democratized knowledge, making books and information accessible to a wider audience. The printing press fueled the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the scientific revolution, transforming societies and shaping the course of history. The Industrial Revolution, driven by the power of steam and later electricity, witnessed an unprecedented wave of technological innovation. Inventors and engineers like James Watt, Thomas Edison, and Nikola Tesla harnessed the forces of nature, creating machines and technologies that transformed manufacturing, transportation, and communication. The 20th century witnessed the dawn of the information age, ushered in by the invention of the computer and the internet. These technologies, born from the minds of visionaries like Alan Turing, Grace Hopper, and Tim Berners-Lee, have revolutionized the way we communicate, access information, and interact with the world around us. The power of thought is not limited to individuals. It is a collective force that shapes cultures, societies, and civilizations. Our shared knowledge, values, beliefs, and aspirations are passed down through generations, forming the cultural inheritance of humanity. From the ancient myths and stories that have been told for millennia to the complex philosophical and religious systems that have shaped civilizations, the power of thought is evident in every aspect of human culture. Our art, music, literature, and architecture reflect the creativity, ingenuity, and imagination of countless individuals who have come before us. The scientific discoveries and technological innovations that have transformed our world are the result of a collective effort building upon the work of generations of scientists, engineers, and inventors. The knowledge and understanding we have accumulated over centuries is a testament to the power of human curiosity, our thirst for knowledge, and our relentless pursuit of progress. The power of thought is not without its dangers. Our capacity for abstract thinking, for imagining future possibilities, can also lead to fear, prejudice, and conflict. The same minds that have produced works of art and scientific breakthroughs have also conceived of weapons of war and systems of oppression. It is up to us, as inheritors of this powerful legacy, to use our minds for good, to promote understanding, tolerance, and compassion, and to create a better future for all. While thought is a hallmark of the human experience, we are not purely rational beings. We are creatures of emotion, our lives painted with the vibrant hues of joy, sorrow, love, fear, and anger. These emotions, far from being mere fleeting sensations, are deeply intertwined with our thoughts, memories, and very sense of self. Imagine witnessing a breathtaking sunset, the sky ablaze with hues of orange, pink, and purple. As you take in the beauty of the scene, a sense of awe and wonder washes over you. This emotional response is not separate from the visual experience. It is an integral part of it, enriching the memory and making it more meaningful. At the heart of these emotional experiences lies the limbic system, an ancient network of brain structures that plays a crucial role in processing emotions, motivations, and memories. The amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure nestled deep within the brain, acts as a rapid response system, quickly evaluating sensory information for potential threats or rewards. It is the amygdala that triggers the fight or flight response, flooding the body with adrenaline and preparing us to confront danger or flee to safety. But emotions are not simply automatic reactions to stimuli. They are shaped by our thoughts, memories, and personal experiences. The hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped structure located near the amygdala, plays a crucial role in forming new memories and connecting them to emotional responses. It is the hippocampus that allows us to learn from our experiences, associating certain people, places, or events with feelings of joy, fear, or sadness. Memory is not a single monolithic entity. It is a tapestry woven from many threads, each representing a different aspect of our past experiences. Some memories are vivid and detailed, like snapshots of time frozen in our minds. Others are more impressionistic, like faded watercolors evoking a mood or a feeling. At the most basic level, we have sensory memory, a fleeting echo of sensations that lingers for just a moment after the stimulus has disappeared. This type of memory allows us to perceive the world as a continuous stream of information rather than a series of disconnected snapshots. Sensory information that captures our attention is then transferred to short-term memory, a temporary holding area where it can be manipulated and processed. Short-term memory, also known as working memory, is limited in both capacity and duration. We can only hold a small amount of information in mind at any given time, and it quickly fades away if we don't actively rehearse it. Information that is deemed important or meaningful is then transferred to long-term memory, a vast and enduring storehouse of knowledge, experiences, and skills. Long-term memory is further divided into explicit memory, which involves conscious recall of facts and events, and implicit memory, which operates outside of conscious awareness, influencing our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without our conscious knowledge. Explicit memory includes episodic memory, our personal recollections of past events, and semantic memory, our general knowledge of the world. Emotions and memories are not merely passive records of our past, they are active forces that shape our present and future. Our emotional responses to events, colored by our past experiences, influence our decisions, our relationships, and our overall outlook on life. Early childhood experiences in particular play a profound role in shaping our emotional development. The care and attention we receive from our primary caregivers during these formative years lay the foundation for our attachment style, our ability to form secure and trusting relationships with others. Traumatic experiences during childhood can leave lasting scars, making us more vulnerable to anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. As we mature, our experiences continue to shape our emotional landscape. We learn to regulate our emotions more effectively, developing coping mechanisms for dealing with stress, disappointment, and loss. We also cultivate positive emotions, seeking out experiences that bring us joy, love, and fulfillment. Memories, too, play a vital role in shaping our sense of self. Our personal narratives, the stories we tell ourselves about our past, help us to make sense of our experiences, to define our values, and to create a sense of continuity over time. We are not simply the sum of our experiences, but rather the authors of our own lives, constantly reinterpreting and reframing our past in light of our present circumstances and future aspirations. The human brain, for all its complexity and sophistication, remains an enigma, a vast, unexplored territory with secrets yet to be revealed. While scientists have made remarkable strides in understanding the brain's structure and function, there are still vast regions whose purposes remain shrouded in mystery. Deep within its folds lie the answers to some of the most fundamental questions about what it means to be human. Consider the phenomenon of consciousness, that subjective experience of awareness, of being a self in the world. How does the brain, a physical organ composed of cells and electrical impulses, give rise to this intangible quality? What combination of neural activity, what intricate dance of neurotransmitters creates the feeling of being aware, of experiencing the world from a unique and personal perspective? These are questions that have puzzled philosophers and scientists for centuries, and despite advances in neuroscience, a definitive answer remains elusive. Another profound mystery lies in the realm of decision-making. We make countless decisions every day, from the mundane to the life-altering, but the process by which we weigh options, assess risks, and arrive at a choice is still not fully understood. Do we have free will, or are our decisions predetermined by a complex interplay of genetic predispositions and environmental influences? The answer has profound implications for our understanding of responsibility, morality, and the very nature of human agency. And what of dreams, those bizarre, often illogical, nocturnal narratives that unfold in the theatre of our minds? Why do we dream, and what purpose do these strange nocturnal journeys serve? Some scientists believe that dreams are simply random firings of neurons, meaningless noise in the system. Others see them as a form of overnight therapy, a way for the brain to process emotions, consolidate memories, and rehearse for future challenges. Whatever their function, dreams remain a tantalizing glimpse into the hidden depths of the human mind. The quest to understand consciousness has captivated thinkers for centuries, and while we have learned much about the brain's role in this mysterious phenomenon, the ultimate nature of consciousness remains a profound enigma. How does the material substance of the brain give rise to the immaterial world of subjective experience, of thoughts, feelings, and sensations? Some neuroscientists believe that consciousness arises from the complex interplay of activity across multiple brain regions, a symphony of neural firing that creates a unified sense of self and a coherent experience of the world. Others propose that consciousness is an emergent property of complex systems, a phenomenon that arises when a critical threshold of complexity is reached, much like wetness emerges from the interaction of water molecules. One promising avenue of research focuses on the neural correlates of consciousness, the specific patterns of brain activity that correspond to particular conscious experiences. By studying the brain activity of individuals while they engage in various tasks, such as viewing images, listening to music, or recalling memories, scientists are beginning to identify the neural signatures of different conscious states. However, even if we can pinpoint the neural correlates of consciousness, the question remains, how does this activity translate into the subjective feeling of awareness? This is known as the hard problem of consciousness, and it continues to challenge our current scientific understanding. It may be that we need to develop entirely new frameworks, new ways of thinking about the relationship between mind and matter to fully grasp the enigma of consciousness. One of the most remarkable qualities of the human brain is its extraordinary capacity for change. Unlike a computer hardwired with fixed circuitry, the brain is a dynamic, ever-evolving organ constantly rewiring itself in response to experience. This inherent plasticity, this ability to adapt and change throughout life, is what allows us to learn new skills, form new memories, and adapt to new environments. Imagine learning to play a musical instrument, your fingers fumbling at first, struggling to master the intricate movements. With practice, the movements become smoother, more fluid, as new neural pathways are etched into the brain's circuitry. The brain, sensing the repeated activation of certain circuits, strengthens the connections between neurons, making the pathways more efficient. This process of strengthening neural connections is known as synaptic plasticity, and it is the foundation of learning and memory. When we encounter new information or engage in a new activity, synapses, the junctions between neurons, fire repeatedly, strengthening the connections. The more we use these connections, the stronger they become, like a well-trodden path through a forest. This plasticity is not limited to childhood. It continues throughout our lives, albeit at a slower pace. Every new experience, every challenge we overcome, every skill we acquire, leaves its imprint on the brain, altering its structure and function. This means that we are not bound by our genetic inheritance or our early childhood experiences. We have the capacity for growth and change throughout our lives. The brain's plasticity is not merely about acquiring new skills or knowledge, it is also about adapting to change, recovering from injury, and maintaining cognitive function throughout life. When we face adversity, whether it's a physical injury, a period of stress, or simply the challenges of aging, the brain has a remarkable ability to compensate, finding new pathways and strategies to maintain function. Consider the case of stroke patients, who often experience paralysis or loss of speech due to damage to specific brain regions. With intensive therapy, many stroke patients are able to regain some lost function as the brain rewires itself, recruiting healthy neurons to take over the tasks of the damaged ones. This remarkable capacity for recovery highlights the brain's resilience and its ability to adapt even in the face of significant adversity. This lifelong plasticity underscores the importance of staying mentally active throughout life. Just as physical exercise keeps our bodies strong and healthy, engaging in mentally stimulating activities, such as learning a new language, playing brain training games, or simply engaging in lively conversations, can help to maintain cognitive function and protect against age-related decline. The brain's plasticity is a double-edged sword. While it allows for incredible adaptation and learning, it also means that the brain is vulnerable to negative influences such as stress, trauma, and neglect. Chronic stress, for example, can lead to the release of hormones that damage brain cells and impair cognitive function. Traumatic experiences can alter the brain's circuitry, making us more susceptible to anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. Understanding the brain's plasticity is not only crucial for promoting brain health and well-being, but it also has profound implications for education, rehabilitation, and the development of new therapies for neurological and psychiatric disorders. By harnessing the brain's innate capacity for change, we can unlock new possibilities for healing, growth, and human potential. For centuries, the human brain has stood alone as the ultimate thinking machine, but we are now entering an era where this distinction is blurring. An age where technology is reaching into the very essence of our minds. Brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, once the realm of science fiction, are becoming increasingly sophisticated, allowing for a direct communication between the brain and external devices, opening up a world of possibilities once thought unimaginable. Imagine a world where people with paralysis can control prosthetic limbs with the power of thought, their brains bypassing damaged nerves to send commands directly to artificial muscles and sensors. This is no longer a futuristic fantasy, but a reality for a growing number of people who have regained lost mobility through the power of BCIs. Electrodes implanted in the brain's motor cortex can detect the neural signals associated with movement, even if those signals can no longer reach their intended targets. But the potential of BCIs extends far beyond restoring lost function. Imagine a world where we can control computers, smartphones, and even virtual environments with our minds, freeing us from the constraints of keyboards, mice, and touchscreens. This technology is still in its early stages, but researchers are making rapid progress in developing more sophisticated and user-friendly BCIs. One promising area of research focuses on non-invasive BCIs, which use sensors placed on the scalp to detect brain activity. Electroencephalography, or EEG, a non-invasive technique that measures electrical activity in the brain, is already being used to control simple devices such as computer cursors and video games. As the technology advances, we can expect to see more sophisticated applications, such as controlling smart home devices, prosthetics, and even vehicles with our thoughts. The merging of mind and machine raises profound ethical questions about the future of humanity. Questions that challenge our understanding of privacy, identity, and the very essence of what it means to be human. As we delve deeper into the inner workings of the brain, we must proceed with caution, carefully considering the potential consequences of our actions. One of the most pressing concerns is the potential for privacy violations. If our thoughts can be read by machines, what safeguards can we put in place to protect our innermost thoughts and feelings? The idea of our minds being accessible to external devices is unsettling, raising concerns about the potential for surveillance, manipulation, and even thought control. As BCIs become more sophisticated, it is crucial that we develop ethical guidelines and legal frameworks to ensure that this technology is used responsibly and ethically. Another concern is the potential for widening the gap between the haves and have-nots. Will BCIs be available only to the wealthy, creating a cognitive elite with enhanced abilities, while those who cannot afford this technology fall further behind? It is essential that we strive to make these technologies accessible to all, regardless of socio-economic status, to prevent exacerbating existing inequalities. Perhaps the most profound ethical question is what it means to be human in an age of enhanced minds. If we can augment our cognitive abilities, enhance our memories, and even merge our minds with artificial intelligence, what will become of our humanity? Will we lose something essential to our nature, or will we embrace these new possibilities as the next step in human evolution? These are questions that we must grapple with as we venture into this uncharted territory, for the choices we make today will shape the future of our species. We have journeyed from the dawn of life on Earth to the frontiers of neuroscience, exploring the evolution of the brain and its extraordinary capabilities. We have marveled at the intricate tapestry of neurons, the symphony of electrical and chemical signals that give rise to thought, emotion, and consciousness. We have witnessed the power of the human mind to shape reality, to create art, science, and technology that transforms our world. Yet for all that we have learned, the brain remains a profound mystery, a universe within itself waiting to be explored. The nature of consciousness, the origins of creativity, the enigma of dreams, these are just a few of the mysteries that continue to challenge our understanding. As we delve deeper into the brain's inner workings, we are confronted with questions that reach beyond the realm of science, questions that touch upon the very essence of what it means to be human. But the brain is not a static entity, fixed and immutable. It is a dynamic, ever-evolving organ, constantly adapting and rewiring itself in response to experience. This remarkable plasticity, this capacity for change, is what allows us to learn throughout our lives, to adapt to new challenges and to recover from injury. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, our ability to grow and evolve in the face of adversity. This inherent plasticity also underscores our responsibility to nurture and care for our minds. Just as we nourish our bodies with healthy food and exercise, we must also provide our brains with the stimulation and support they need to thrive. By engaging in mentally challenging activities, cultivating healthy habits, and seeking out enriching experiences, we can help our brains to stay sharp, adaptable, and resilient throughout our lives. As we stand at the cusp of a new era in neuroscience, with powerful technologies like brain-computer interfaces emerging, we are presented with both unprecedented opportunities and profound ethical challenges. The ability to merge our minds with machines, to enhance our cognitive abilities, and to explore the uncharted territories of consciousness holds immense promise for the future of humanity. Yet we must proceed with caution, guided by wisdom and compassion as we navigate this uncharted territory. The choices we make today will shape the course of human evolution. Will we use these new technologies to create a world where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential, or will we allow them to exacerbate existing inequalities, creating a society divided between the cognitively enhanced and the unenhanced? Will we respect the sanctity of the human mind, protecting our thoughts and feelings from unwanted intrusion? Or will we succumb to the temptation to manipulate and control the very essence of what makes us human? The future is not predetermined, it is ours to create. Let us use our knowledge, our creativity, and our compassion to shape a future where the human mind, in all its complexity and beauty, continues to flourish. Let us strive to create a world where everyone has the opportunity to explore the universe within, to unlock the secrets of consciousness, and to contribute to the collective wisdom of humanity. The journey of understanding the brain is a journey of self-discovery, a journey that leads us not only to a deeper understanding of ourselves, but also to a more compassionate and just world for all.